a progressive increase that has happened by the industry, which is very, very heartening, that we did discover that the investments in research and innovation from industry has been growing. And this data, therefore, is critical for us to do our future planning. And today, this focus on the national digital portal infrastructure, which is one of the best infrastructures in the world which India has, is totally based on the availability of data. This raw data or the metadata that we provide is therefore important for the futuristic planning. But what I wanted to allude to is this, from this would be announced very shortly, hopefully this month by the leadership. And this is actually a fund which is essentially, I wouldn't say a grant, it is a loan. It's a very low interest, long-term loan. And in fact, it could be even, a nil interest loan, which will be given to the industries. Where the only limitation is the government will pitch in 50% upright the industry has to put in, where academia will also pay a role so that you can get access to all the infrastructure that is available in the academia and the national labs in the country. And I think, so this is one of the important things that came out. We also brought out the various national missions, right from semiconductor mission to technical textile mission to the AI mission, the drone mission, all those missions that you see today, the opening out of space, where the role of industries, where we made them as a prominent factor in this. So in this scenario, therefore, it's very, very critical for us that we capture the data, which is so important to have evidence-based policy making and also program outlining in the future. The second important thing that I wanted to allude to is the entire world's focus is now on India. They want to know what India is doing, what India is investing, what is the future trajectory for Indian industry and the government. And therefore, we are also committed to provide this data to the international bodies. I must say that last 3, 4, 5 years, there's been a gap in this data because of several reasons. We actually moved from a physical method to a digital method now. So this gap is really creating a worry for.
It's a great gathering, and thanks a lot to DST and FICCI to organize this. What I understand from all this exercise, so I'd been in academia, have supported startups, currently working with international organizations and governments on policy design and innovation ecosystem build-up. So what I understood, why there is a lot of hindrance in sharing the data, there are 2, 3 major reasons. One is on the confidentiality part, and I really saw that you are reiterating it again and again to build some confidence that no, it is going to remain confidential, building some trust and all. Okay, but the bigger problem stays within the industry. And that is what I feel this survey system is not understanding. Okay, the biggest thing is the whole accounting which happens inside the industry is not capturing R&D as what we want. It is very fragmented accounting which happens. Most of the R&D expenses are actually shown as product development expenses or vendor optimization or testing and validation kind of things. Now, our CFOs or even our industrial clusters are not made aware enough that we have to capture our R&D expenses and why we need to capture it. So as an industry, I don't need to capture our R&D expenses in this way. I want my R&D expenses to be captured in this fragmented way so that I can take a optimizer.
In my view, the challenge of corporates or industries they don't have apprehension of sharing the data, but they do not really understand the value or the outcome of this particular survey, the impact it creates and the ROI it offers to the industry. If we can demonstrate as part of the survey what is the ROI, what is the value, what is the impact, and what is the visibility creates, it will really motivate. If you typically see, I just want to draw the parallel with a lot of surveys which we normally fill for Gartner, Forrester, IDC, Everest. This is more in a form of voluntary terms. They don't chase us, we chase them, because we want them to publish our data to be part of the leader quadrant, so that it gives a very good visibility to the industry to see, yeah, these companies are doing great and we need to work with them. So that is the modus operandi because of which the volunteer submission happens, first thing. The second important thing is we need to understand which is the group in the organization we are asking them to fill this data. Are we reaching out to CTO group? Are we reaching out to the corporate marketing research group? Are we reaching out to the CFO group? Because most of the times, corporate marketing research group is responsible for filling this kind of a data. In fact, with all the surveys, they will work with the internal stakeholders of CTO, CFO to fill. If we are not reaching to the right people, and they are not authorized to submit the data without the marketing approval and the finance approval or HR approvals. So as a CTO function, we are not responsible to outsource any information without their approval. So getting to the right stakeholders who are the decision maker to disclose the data is important. We normally try to reach to the wrong audience. So large industry spectrum and the mid industry spectrum, we need to reach to the right audience where this particular data is authorized to be published. And if you target different audience, they have their own apprehension because they are not authorized.
So most of the R&D which we are doing is of a confidential nature. Just as example I will give. Recently we have we have signed an agreement with the USA for procurement of MQ-9B Predator drones. And probably in India also we are partnering with industry in doing the research on this, and probably we will come out of that bird very shortly. So these type of
other scientific and industrial organization across the country. In that context, we have organized this awareness workshop so that we can sensitize the industry to submit the information on the gross expenditure on R&D, business enterprise expenditure on R&D, and manpower and the S&T workforce engaged in the R&D. So the whole purpose of this today's event was to sensitize the industry representative to come forward and submit the information as soon as possible, because we have extended the deadline for submission of the data till 31st of October. And you may be aware also that GERD, the gross expenditure on R&D, is reflecting the country's scale or intensity of the R&D investment in new knowledge and technology. And globally, you may be aware that the total investment is around $3 trillion US, and the Department of Science and Technology, through its survey, has published its report time to time. And as per the 2020-21 report, the country's investment in gross expenditure in R&D is around 1,27,000 crore, and out of which 60% are represented, or you can say contributed, by the government, and 40%, around 40% from the private and public industry. So these are the contribution of the industry, and we want that the industry should come forward for investment in R&D. Thank you.